Well, hello there everyone in YouTube land. Jared here. Today, I'm doing a demo for you of the Carvin BX250 mini bass amp head. Or micro bass amp head. Whatever. You get the point. It's a wonderful little piece of gear. This amp features 250 watts at 4 or 8 ohms with 2 speaker cabinet outputs, a 4-band EQ with a 2-band parametric EQ mid controls, a contour, a compressor, a drive, master volume, DI level out with a post and pre-EQ switch, a mute switch, and an active passive switch for your input. So for the demo of this, I'm going to be running a DI from my DAW into a Twonotes Torpedo reload, and then directly into this and directly back into the computer, because I do not have the ability to mic a cabinet in the room I'm at. So you are getting a DI signal from this amp head with no speaker coloration whatsoever. That's what I have to work with at this point in time. Alright, so before we get into this, I'd like to ask you, please like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more, help me grow this channel. I know I just started, but you could be some of the first people to really see the beginning of this. So help me out here. Hopefully you like this. Comment below if you do like the video. If you don't like the video, even comment below. I'd like constructive criticism and see what I can and can't do to improve your experience with me as an entertainer, hopefully. So first we're going to start with the bass and treble knobs to give you a feel for the way those interact with the bass signal. Next, we move on to the mid EQ section with the 2 parametric EQ, where you can cut and or boost either a low mid or high mid frequency with a potentiometer controlling where in that frequency range that you would like to cut or boost. Next, we're going to do the drive knob. It does saturate rather well, even though it does not have a tube preamp, but it does fill the sound out with wonderful harmonics as well. After that, now we're going to the contour knob, which acts as a mid scoop. I'm not sure what exact frequencies it's mid scooping or how wide the Q is, but it works really great for kind of slap tones if you want to get into that. So here you go. Next, we're going to go into the compressor. The compressor knob is a single knob compressor. The only thing that is a downside to this, it does not have a makeup gain for the compressor, so you will have to add more to the DI signal or the master volume signal if you want to run the compressor all the time. Finally, we have the post and pre-EQ switch. That way you can see how much this is really coloring the signal or what your bass is inputting into it as well. Well, that's the general demo of this, pretty much all the features in a compact little box. That way you can kind of hear where this can go. So my thoughts on it, it's a very versatile amp. You can kind of go anywhere from reggae tones to metal, jazz, slap stuff. You can get pretty much anything in a small little box. It's very, very versatile. A chameleon of amps, as I would say. Some of the downsides, like I mentioned before, with the compressor, you do have to have the makeup gain in the DI or the master volume section, but there's no foot switch on this to engage or disengage anything, so you're either going to be running it on always or not. So your volume is going to be what it's at. You're not going to have a volume jump while you're trying to do a live show. And then it does not have an effects loop of any sort. It's just anything you effects, you're going to run right into the front. So that's the only real downsides to it. A lot of people, I think, will look down for the 250 watts of it because everyone's using 500, 800, 1,000 watt amps now. I don't really see how that's super practical for most people, for most general users. Almost everyone's going DI with a pedal or with the amp into the front of house most of the time. So you're not miking a cabinet anyway. So having that large amount of output and wattage is almost unnecessary. It does get loud enough that you will be able to hear this thing, especially if you hook two speakers up to this. You know, you have two 410s or whatever, you're going to be able to hear yourself on stage. It's not going to be a problem. Also, being at 250 watts, you can get quiet enough to practice in your bedroom and not disturb people. So that's a nice little plus as well too. It does have a headphone jack as well, and that is control the volume of that with the DI output knob as well too. So that's kind of a cool little thing they did. The other great thing is this thing's so light. It's like 3 pounds. I mean, you can throw this into a carry-on bag on a flight. You're not having to worry about TSA or the baggage people destroying your amplifier because you can carry it with you. It's so darn light, so compact, so small, absolutely great. Now you can't buy these new anymore. Carvin is gone. They don't make these amps anymore. You can buy them used rather cheaply too. I bought this, and all be all was like $310, $350, something like that. And that was being shipped from Ireland because that's the only place I could find that someone was selling one. They aren't necessarily the easiest to find. Not many people are selling them. I don't think a lot of people have them either. But you can still find them, and they're great. They're cheap. They're easy. You can, if you really want to, and you really don't like the 250 watts, you can get a 500 watt version of this. The only thing you have to watch out for is the older models of that do not have the post and pre-EQ switch for the DI. And that DI for those old ones is just a pre-EQ. There's no post-EQ whatsoever. So it's pretty much just a through DI for your bass, which kind of sucks. But if you find the newer models, it will have that post pre-EQ switch. You can find those. I think those run about 400, 450, something like that. But you can still find those as well too. Still kind of rare. Not a lot of people are selling them, or not a lot of people have had them, or a combination of both. Anyway. Final thoughts, I like this amp. It's great. Works for pretty much everything I need for smaller gigs. You know, I'm not a giant touring musician, so I think it'll work for a lot of people. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you like this amp, if you ever encountered this amp, what you thought of it. Give me your thoughts on this video. Did I do well? Did I not do well? What can I do to do demos better that can give you a better idea of the gear itself? But anyway, again, please like this video, subscribe for more, help me grow this channel, help me really start getting out there. I will have more demo videos of what I have coming out to you guys pretty soon. So anyway, everybody stay safe out there. Have a good night.